Okay, so this is another in the series of the lockdown Tai Chi classes. This is a supplementary set of exercises, so not really included in the normal classes as such. Of course, if you have any injuries or health issues, then you should really take these very gently or consult your doctor, of course. So it'll probably take about 15 minutes, and as I say, if you're not used to doing these types of exercises, then you should take it really easy, and maybe don't even do all of them, just do the very beginnings of each of them and see how it feels. So we'll begin just with the feet position, just with the feet together, spin on the heels, spin on the balls of the feet. It gives you a roughly 2 hands band position. Just relax the ankles, bend the knees, and we say open the lower back. But of course these arm swings are opening the thoracic region of the spine. So just really nice and loose, but make sure you keep the ankles relaxed and the knees bent. The lower back open, that's the sacrum down and tucked down and under a little. And you can add a little depth to these exercises by listening into the foot pressure, because the foot pressure is changing with the arm swings. So listening to the changes in the foot pressure as the body is pulled around by the big arm swings. And then we change to this one, just a simultaneous stretch on the underside of the arm and the top of the shoulder. Just nice and loose. Again, listening into the foot pressure changes as the body center shifts. So this will pull your awareness to something deeper than just the external movements of the arms, you might say. So again, relax the ankles, bend the knees, have the lower back open. And then pressing out of one foot or the other. Keep the elbow high and look up at the ceiling. Press out of the opposite foot. Keep the elbow high, look up at the ceiling. This keeps the body in one plane, because we don't want, if the elbow drops, the body comes off that plane. So keep the elbow high, look up at the sky in my case, or the ceiling if you're inside. And then you can deepen the exercise a little by listening into the foot pressure and keeping the knee changing as you settle into the leg. So there's a big stretch in the upper body, really stretching, but listening down into the foot pressure, keeping the knee joint changing and the lower back open. Relax. Just do a little few knee bends, so just make sure I'm not pushing back on the knees with my hands, they're just resting on my knees. Just a few gentle knee bends. A slightly advanced version, you can come onto the balls of the feet and onto the heels. So rocking onto the balls of the feet and come back onto the heels. Again, I'm not pushing back with the hands. Just gently resting the hands on the knees. Try not to fall over. You can put the feet together, just circle the knees gently. Try to keep the feet flat on the ground. Relax the ankles. Reverse. 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 And then open the backs of the knees and let the upper body hang. Let the shoulders relax, let the head relax, let the upper body hang. So I'm relatively flexible, so you may not get as low as your hands to the ground, but that's okay. Whatever you can do is okay. I would step out, take a shoulder width stance, put the hands across the chest. Now just be careful you don't topple over with this one, so a big circle of the upper body, and again listening into the foot pressure. It's a way of deepening the exercise, you're listening to something down in the foundations, the root, you might say, rather than just concentrating on the big external movements. Change direction. Big circle. And hands on the head and change direction again, perhaps a little faster if you're comfortable with it. Listening into the foot pressure, of course. And reverse. If you're not familiar with these and you feel dizzy, then stop. But listening to the foot pressure should create a certain amount of stability. And relax. Let the upper body hang again. And just for a little stretch, you can put your right hand over to the left toes. Keep the back of the knee open. Put your left hand over to the right toes. Keep the back of the knee open. Come back to the center. Let the weight of the head hang off the spine. Shoulders relaxed. Bend the knees and unfurl the spine. Like rolling up against a wall. Sinking into the left leg and lift the right knee. And then pivot about the knee joint. And sink into the right leg and lift the left knee. Just pivot about the knee joint. Change, sink into the left leg, lift the right knee, pivot about the joint again, the knee joint, and then relax the hip and let the leg swing. So we're listening to the foot pressure changes in the left leg. Change, sink into the right leg, lift the left knee, pivot about the knee joint. Try not to fall over. And then relax the hip, let the leg swing. Nice and loose, listening to the foot pressure in the right foot. And change. So we'll take the knee across the body and open it out for the articulation of the hip joint. So across the body, open out. Across the body, open out. A nice big wide curve. 3, 4, and then to the other side, across the body. Try not to fall over, open out. 2, 3, 4. And then from the outside in, so we lift the knee to the side and come over. Lift the knee to the side, coming over. 3, 4. And then the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one we can breathe in, pull the elbows back, fingers back. And breathing out, bring the backs of the hands together. Breathe in, rotate the palms. Elbows back, fingers back. Breathing out and sinking. Backs of the palms coming together. Breathing in. Breathing out. So we can add in the knee movement with that. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathe in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And if you're feeling ambitious, you can add in the toes. Nice big shoulder roll. Really open the chest and then close between the shoulder blades. and then open between the shoulder blades and close the chest. Really big movement of the shoulder girdle. So for people who've trained a little longer with me, press out of the feet in the lifting, and then over and down to the feet in the sinking. So rather than just concentrate on the isolated movement of the shoulders, we can coordinate that with the wave of lifting from the feet and then flow down and back into the feet. Really good in-breath on the lifting, out-breath. Of course, reverse. Same breathing in on the lifting. Yeah, breath. As much movement in the shoulders as you can get. Relax. So we're just going to do a little exercise that works the legs a little bit. So we're going to turn the left toes out. So I'm looking away from you. So I'm going to turn away from you 180 degrees. I turn the left toes out, sink down into the right knee, and press out of the ground and come back, look into the camera, turn the right toes out, sink down into the left. Then we just repeat that from side to side. So in the direction that I'm turning, I turn the toes out, and then sink down and into the back leg. In the direction that I'm turning, turn those toes out, 180 degrees. Try not to clatter your knees on the ground. From here, in the direction that I'm turning, we can add in the hand lifting and the hand punching up. Direction I'm turning, that hand lifts. It's probably enough of that. If you want to add in some supplementary exercises for the legs, you can do something like this, where you hook the left foot behind the right ankle, and then I just put my hands together and sink. Try to get the buttock onto the heel, and then lift, and then change. It's not so easy. And then next time you do two. Whoops. One, two, change. Next time you do two on this side. Two, and then we'll change to three. You can build up as much as you want. Two, three. If you don't do these sorts of things, you have to take it really easy. Okay, so that's enough. You get the idea, you can just add more and more. We just finished with this was taught to me by a Goju-ryu teacher, Okinawan karate Goju-ryu, but it's also seen sometimes in the, sometimes referred to as a hard qigong exercise. But we just want the legs getting the breathing working. So we just want a really good in-breath. And the out-breath. And as if grabbing something, and then pull up in-breath. Then the out-breath. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathe in, So I'll just show that from the side. So you can make these more explosive as you choose. Try to get the form reasonably accurate. So we breathe in and breathe out. Try to keep the back straight. Don't dip forward too much. But as if slapping the palms onto something. And then grab the reeds and pull up. And breathe out, as if pushing out through the palms of the hands. And breathe in as if pulling on something on the wrists. And breathe out. Okay, you don't have to make it as explosive as that. So that was about 15 minutes or so. I recommend now just a little warm down, whatever you fancy. Just loosen the body again. Just loosen the body. Let the breathing return to normal. A little stretch. And then as the breathing returns to normal, it would be a reasonable thing to do the meditation, but I won't include that in this. You have multiple meditations in all the classes that you can just refer to. Okay, thanks very much.